Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm being joined, as you can see, by both Jake and Jimmy.
What's going on, y'all?
I mean, can you see me?
Well, they see your Tom and just your Tom icon. I was say Tom and Jerry, but it's obviously Jerry's not there.
It's just Tom.
Yeah.
Good old cowboy.
That's Beerus. That's actually Beerus.
Yeah, that's secretly Beerus. I mean, it makes sense if you go back and rewatch that damn show. They have to be gods at this point. Like normal on Sundays, we kind of just shoot the shit, have a little fun, and just talk about random stuff. Possibly games that weren't on camera. The new set. Are you playing Pokemon? I don't know. Let's find out what's happening.
Fuck that game. That shit sucks.
What?
All right, let's start with that. What happened?
Well, wait? I can't remember. Do you even have a Switch?
Yeah, I got a Switch.
Okay.
Okay, so I paid Tanner $200 for the Switch.
That's right. I remember this now.
This is when Switches were like actually kind of popping. Like you couldn't find one for retail.
Yeah.
It was a used copy. It come with Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which I played a total of 5 minutes of, and then I couldn't figure out how to get past one part, so I stopped playing it. And then I bought.
Hang on. What?
I think the game just bugged, and I just never tried it again.
There's a new Digimon game by any chance. It's all right.
Oh, interesting.
Well, it's been out for a while. I just haven't opened my copy apparently.
But I purchased Binding of Isaac Rebirth,
of course.
I have combined I think I have about 2,000 hours on PC, and I'm nearing that on Switch because that game has a grasp on my life and will never let go. And then I bought Animal Crossing New Horizons. I played 2 hours of it.
Yeah,
and I didn't get to play for a week, and I forgot it existed until just now having this conversation.
So I think I've shown on the camera once to some degree. I do have a custom AOP decal on mine.
That's awesome.
My buddy
I didn't know that.
At my old job. He designed it for me.
That's actually really sick.
I probably should have laminated the vinyl instead, because when I was mounting it, there was parts where it creased, and that's what happens if you don't laminate vinyl. I'm not here to talk about my old job. But yeah, so you don't like Pokemon? Is that what I'm hearing? Because it sounds like
I love Pokemon. I just don't like them releasing the same fucking game every couple of years and everybody pogging at it.
Well, it's better than sports games, and no offense to any sports fans out there, because
they all suck. except for like Forza. Forza's kind of sick.
At least they are changing stuff in Pokemon. Like, if you go back and look at Madden, like, it's like, oh, new stuff. No, they don't change much at all. But, like, they took inspiration from Arceus and put it to this game, and it looks funner. I like the
I did like Arceus. That was fun.
Jake, you've been popping off on it.
I've played about an hour and a half of it. It came out Friday, right? And today's Sunday, so I worked all day Saturday and then went to locals. So I'm probably going to play it some tonight. But what I have played of it... Oh, okay, I've played probably 2.5 hours. So I've gotten all the way through the intro sequence. And the intro sequence is pretty rough. It's pretty railroady and pretty press A to go to the next text block. And while there's stuff I could like sit and nitpick about, I think overall the characters are more interesting than anything in Sword and Shield, and I'm 2.5 hours in. And the story is set up in such a way that like I feel like they could really go some interesting places with it. And I'm more willing to give this game a chance than I was Sword and Shield. Like, I don't think I even got all 8 badges in Sword and Shield. Like, I maybe played 12 hours of that game.
What makes this one unique is the open worldness compared to the other Pokemon games.
Yep.
Once you get past the tutorial, you can just go wherever you want, which I think is great. I think it's always should have been that way. But I'm spending time just having to go through the tutorial 8 times, so...
Oh, yeah, because you're doing the trading.
I'm getting the starters from me and my nephew, and then picking them up from Fluff as well. So,
well, that's where you employ your nephew, man, buddy. You got to get through this if you want these starters.
He's already started his game, so he's already further along than he needs to be to constantly start restarting. So, it's to be my priority. Also, he's too young to dedicate that actual responsibility to, about getting fed up and just continue doing what he wants to do.
Yeah,
So
fair.
maybe we'll talk about our progress next week. New set came out though, and of the three of us, Jake, you didn't play anything new.
Not a single new card.
Wait, seriously, nothing new in your deck?
Not a single new card, main deck or sideboard.
That's great. So this locals will have 3 gameplays. The first one is Blue Gohan versus
Turtle School with the
Turtle School,
new
yeah.
Gogeta, with some of the new Gogeta package in it.
which is very
That's
interesting.
Kinda spicy.
We have Magenta versus a green Majin Buu deck. So a little hand control on hand control. And then we ended up with a Sin versus Blue Gohan. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that. Some pretty fun stuff. We did get Jimmy's Blue Gohan deck profile. I'm going to tweak my Magenta, but I should have that up this week as well. And I think that's all we actually were able to get. We'll have way more next week when more people start to experiment with other archetypes and just newer decks with what's going on. Because like we didn't get Chase's build on the Turtle School with the Gogeta stuff. That sounds really interesting. So if you guys want to pass that list to me, I can do it, or I can get Chase to record next time he's at the shop.
So I think we're actually going to gut that deck and build the proper Gogeta list, but I could have him send it to you beforehand.
Okay, yeah,
because it is kind of an interesting list. It's just it abuses the Turtle School field card to be able to play the Energy of Gods, Goku and Vegeta, which are targets for the 4-drop EX Evolves. But the EX Evolves don't have a lot of great effects on them without having a Veku leader. So it's essentially just kind of a way
Nerfed
of
Gogeta.
It's nerf Gogeta. And I'm sure Chase will talk about if we can get him on to the channel, but I do agree with him that almost everything in Gogeta is just the Turtle School cards, but just slightly better.
yeah.
Like, the way he described is that there's an extra line of text that just makes the card better than Turtle School. So that was the main idea of going with that particular build.
Nice. Without getting too far into like your matches that were on camera, because all three of us are on camera at some point tonight. What was your experience with Gohan? And I know you've done some testing on Untap. I think we talked about that before in the past as well. But just be able to play in person again, or
So
first time.
this is one of the only sets where I did not do almost any Untap testing. I built one version of the deck with the cards that were announced at the time of the archetype dropping, and then played like 1 or 2 games with it, and then I didn't touch it. I just didn't have time this time. But Gohan was one of the decks that I instantly knew I was going to be into. And then after playing it one time, I was like, okay, I see where this deck is going to go. I see why it's capped at 3 energy. This was pre-Bean Errata that I was playing the deck. So this is the first time that I played the deck with the Bean Errata. And the deck still performed the way I thought it was going to. We are going to have my profile for this week. I am going to retool the deck quite a bit, and we might reprofile it because I think there's going to be some pretty major changes to it. So maybe be on the lookout for that eventually. But I love the deck. I think it's a lot of fun to play. It's a little bit more pilot intensive than I expected it to be. Because most of the aggro decks are basically just put cards in the field, turn sideways. But where you have the limitation of 3 energy, you have to think a lot more while you're playing, which is something that I haven't done a lot of because I've been playing a lot of SS4 Gogeta and Sin Shinron lately. So it felt I was telling Chase on the way home, I was like, I got like a little bit of a headache, and I'm like trying to figure out why, and I was like, oh, I played a deck where I had to think about something. But the deck's a lot of just an incredible amount of fun, and I'm super happy with it. It's everything that I thought it was going to be going into it.
Yeah, I played against it once tonight, so yeah, it's definitely what I expected, and a lot of that breaks down to I know like Jake and Nick used to do untapping a lot, like for the last couple sets, but I didn't see you guys get on a lot this time around.
For this set, I think I maybe played 2 games before the set came out with the cards.
So I think like if we had more time to invest, we would have stuff like that down pat a little bit better. And I think that's where it comes down. Like when we see some people pop off these decks at like bigger events, it's kind of like, huh? If only if I spent that much amount of time on it as well. Oh well.
Some people put stuff together, and it's like I never would have thought of that. Like you could give me like I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head, and I can't. But there are some texts that I see, and I'm just like, gosh, that's brilliant. Like I never would have thought of that.
Yeah. I do want to say, not to go too far back, but about Untap, like I felt like the set before this, I spent so much time on Untap, whether it was just jumping in and spectating people playing these decks, specifically like SS War and Sin, because I knew those were going to be really, really good decks. But like it almost burnt me out before the set come out, and I wasn't as excited to get the new cards and play with them as I was this time. Like I shout out to Aaron. I was texting him like 3 or 4 times a day. I was like, "Hey, have you figured out like what time we're gonna be busting this case when we get these cards, bro? Like when we get these cards, like I'm fucking tweaking over here over these cards, like." So I don't think I was as prepared going into the set for everything. I still haven't done any testing with or against a few archetypes, but it's almost more fun at this point for me because I'm excited to see the new decks and I'm excited to play the new stuff.
Yes.
Like I've done Villainous is the deck that I've tested the most out of it, and while I'm still really excited to play it, I was not as excited to play that over Gohan, and I want to see Slug. I want to see that deck actually played. I want to see Android 13 played. Like, my excitement for this set is just getting more and more now that the set is out.
So I chose Magenta because I felt like a lot of people were talking about it to some degree, and I'm like, man, if people get their hands on a hand control deck that feels good, I'm only going to play it like one time before everyone wants to play it. No one else brought it, which I was like, okay, cool. It's a deck I can play. No one else is bringing it. Sweet. But I have like a list. I think I was going to work on Android 13 next and then follow up with Slug after that. But then I heard Adam was like, yeah, I'm playing 13. I'm playing Slug. I'm like, I don't have to do the decks that no one wants to play. Okay. But
I believe Aaron's doing Broly and Trios. So
cool. Because Broly's also another one. Like I'm a huge fan of the extra card decks, so Broly's on my list as well. And I was hoping someone would pick up Trios, but if someone didn't pick up Trios of Saiyans, I was gonna take care of that one as well. But that sounds good to me.
I think people are just red archetyped out after Universe 7, Sen Shenron, Gogeta. They're like, I just want to play a different color. Like let me grab hold of one of these blue decks. Like let me try Slug. I think Green Broly is going to be more popular than people think too.
I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah, like I was talking to Adam on the way out, and he was excited about that deck as well. So like, there's a lot of archetypes that people are excited to play, and I think Jimmy is right. I think it's because this set really wasn't as hype like before, like in the pre-release phase, you know. And we were looking at the cards and everything, like, yeah, like that looks okay. And then now that we've actually got them in our hands, it's kind of fun to try things out and like see how stuff actually works on the table.
And that's the most important thing. We can theory craft, and even you can even test on Untap, but I don't think anything compares to playing with the cardboard itself.
Yeah, I think Austin's a victim of that. He tested out that pan variant of his deck, and as soon as he got physical cards in his deck, it was like a complete opposite effect for him. Because like I think at that point, like people have the cards in hand, you're paying attention more to what's happening instead of kind of looking at the screen like, okay, I got that. I've always felt like when the cards in your hand, I'm playing. When it's on the screen, it's kind of like it's there.
Yeah, it's theory. Yeah,
it takes far more focus for me to set down and play on Untapped than it does to set down and actually have the cards in my hand and position them and like feel the card. Like it's a different experience, and I'm sure everybody watching this at least played the physical cards. I don't think anybody is a untapped solely player, but it's a completely different experience.
If you are an untapped solely player, like leave it in the comments and tell us what that's like. Like,
that
I'd be
being
interested to
said,
hear.
that being said, I would still love a online client for this game, an
Yeah.
official.
Yes.
Please.
It's probably easier on their pockets.
Oh yeah, I'm certain. What's your internet bill?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you don't really get to play any webcam events. You don't get to play any big events. You never really get to test your actual like metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I agree with you guys. Like playing at an event at the table is just a completely different
It is,
context. Yeah. Like me personally, where I've played card games for most of my life, like I'll notice things in a physical game, like moves I can make or things on my opponent's board that might have slipped by me on a webcam game or a screen game, like a untapped game.
I mean, and we've done like Jake's been part of it, but we've done stuff like with Rising Phoenix Odyssey on his online tournaments, and
Those are fun.
like I enjoy those, and I get to meet a lot of new people that way too. But the feeling I get when we go to like the big cons and whatnot is just completely different. And I think it's just more of it's a mix between getting ready for like a 6 to 8 hour event compared to, all right, let me play this round for like an hour or two real quick. No, but yeah, there's that focus where, okay, cool, sit down. You are my opponent. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I think sitting down at a big event, we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've ever talked about it on one of these videos, but I think me and Jake have both agree on this, that like the trip there and then the food afterwards,
the experience
is the most enjoyable part. It doesn't matter what you place there. If I know some players don't have locals or like friends to go with, but it's like try to make you some friends in this game and like go to a big event, because that's the most fun you will ever have playing this card game.
Yep.
And it's like, go on.
I was like, yeah, the experience going there. If you have people to go with, like that alone makes the event. Like you can unfortunately place last place, but as long as you're there with company, just going there, the trips there, the aftermath, and most time it's like really just rooting on your buddy instead. Like when we went to TCG Con, Jake did the best of all of us, and that was just exciting to be part of that. And I think like when we went to Gen Con last year, I think I placed the highest. And
yeah,
like,
and we were all rooting for you.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it's, that alone makes those events worth it.
Why didn't y'all root for me in Columbus? Well, Jake, you weren't there. But
I was gonna say I wasn't there.
They're probably just talking shit the whole time.
I was cheating in Columbus apparently.
Because that's how you're motivated.
Well, then again, I played Fluff in the first round, and he was just mad at me for the rest of it. He's still mad at me about that, I think.
That is my nightmare, is
So-
playing a friend in round one of an event and winning.
So they call round one pairings, and I say, "Hey, Fluff, are you going up there?" I was like still sleeving part of my deck, and I was like, "Can you go up there and tell me who I got?" And he comes back and he goes, "Good luck." And I was like, "Oh shit! Like, who am I playing? Like, am I playing like somebody good, like somebody that's been winning a lot or something?" He's like, "Good luck," and I was like, "The fuck?" And he goes, "We're playing," and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Oh no!
I will say what made that event for Fluff unfortunate was that I think it was you and him who did a lot of testing,
Mhm.
and then the last second you changed your deck, and
Because of dark. Because of dark. I don't
but-
think we've ever talked about this on a format like this.
I've never
Possibly
heard
not.
this story.
So without getting too much, I'll let Jimmy kind of tell the whole story. But what deck you changed to was actually what was kind of like the meta. But you and Fluff never tested against that, so Fluff wasn't prepared for that at all. And that he matched up. I think he said he played 3 different people with the exact same build almost.
So this was ARG. This was a long time ago. This
Yeah.
was
2018.
Anniversary Box Toa was almost the deck to beat at the time. It was like Anniversary Box Toa, I think Kid Coup I seen a lot of, and then it was Purunga Victory Strike. Or Broly Victory Strike, one of the two. And I was playing Toa up until that, and then me, Dark, and Bancroft were in an Xbox Live party. And Dart goes, "What are you playing?" And I said, "I think I'm playing Toa." He goes, "Well, what topped the last event?" And I was like, "Well, the only deck that I like that topped out last event, I think I got second place. It was Gogeta 7 Shinron." And he goes, "Well, play that." So I built the deck the day before the event, had no clue how to play it, showed up, and I ended up placing 10th place there and got my invitational to Nats. But I did kind of feel bad because like the entire time I was telling Fluff, don't expect that deck. It only like literally there's only been one that's topped in like the past like 10 events. Don't worry about it. And then I show up with it, and he's like, "I hate you so much." He's like, "That's the only deck I played all day," and I thought I was the only Gogeta Shinron player there.
Oh, you had a pretty close mirror match at the end of that, didn't you?
No, I played a Broly Victory Strike player.
That's what it was. Okay, yeah,
and that's when battering was still a thing.
Yeah,
and in game 2, he got game 1, I got game 2. Going into game 3, he sided out his entire Victory Strike package and put in Mirachamp and battering, and just diddled me. And I have always had a hate boner for battering, and I'm so glad that shit banned.
Yeah, it was a little bit broken. I remember going to an event one time. It was 100 players. I was playing Gogeta 7 Shenron, and there were 48 Gogeta 7 Shenrons at the event. It was half of the room.
God.
There were 48. I remember because we looked on the way home. We stopped at McDonald's, and Matt was looking up the statistics from the event. It was 48 Gogeta 7 Shenrons, 12 Broly Apes, because that's when Broly Apes was just coming out. It like Anniversary Box had or not Anniversary Box, Draft Box 4 had just hit.
Was I playing Fire Nimba at that?
Yeah, yes, you were, and you were very sleepy because you were working nights at the time.
That was when I was playing Prison.
And we fucking now I can't remember. I had them all in my head, but it was basically like, and the rest of the leaders was like 2 or 3 of like 10 or 12 different leaders. Mm-hmm. It was just wild. And I think Broly Apes was like 5 or 6 of the top 8 places. Like it just ate Shenron alive because it was so fast.
It's crazy to think that Broly Apes was fast.
Yeah.
Like red, yellow Broly Apes. I think it was Marcel Russell did really, really well with that at that event.
And then they played the Beerus Checkland just so they could play Beam.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot about when it just switched over to blue, yellow, and then they started running Gogeta 7 in it just for the fuck of it.
It was blue, yellow, red with a Gogeta 7 back.
So, Jimmy, you got something, don't you?
I mean, I guess I could just turn on my camera real quick.
So, fun fact, we have earlier today we would have released our unboxing video. This is kind of like a smaller version of that.
Yeah, so these are Aaron's cards that he asked me to pick up and bring to him, but I was not able to do so. So I'm going to open them here, and I will just buy him another set next week. So I hope I pull something good out of Aaron's cards if I can actually open this shit. I hate these packaging. It's almost as bad as the wax packs that they've been doing for the promo cards.
When I no, it's not.
It's bad.
When I opened our premium
box, the wax
box,
packs are horrid.
Yeah, they are. I had to chill on the side.
Yeah, I understand they're better for the environment, but can we get like a better pull tab or something?
Yes,
they're pretty rough.
Yeah.
What? Any hits?
Ooh, foil go. I'll take that Gohan. I think I need one more.
Yeah, my only problem with the wax paper is that also like it's very easy to almost rip the card itself.
Yeah, I almost did that tonight with my promo.
What the fuck is this card?
That's the 5-drop SR that we were one short on.
You need it?
I need that one. That's the 5-drop, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, that is yours. Hey, somebody got something out of this.
Also, I want to cover this because it's actually me and Jimmy's profile, but SPRs suck this time around on their ratios, and there was actually 3 SPRs that we didn't pull in our case. which I find
Like, did you pull any copies of in a whole case?
of the SPRs.
Hey, speaking of SPR,
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah, so
dude, the art on the trios cards are insanely good.
yes.
The camera sucks, but like they're so good. I just wish the deck didn't suck dick.
I don't think the deck's bad. I think every other red deck is just a
Good.
turn
Yeah, I
faster.
mean, you're right.
that's what I
You're
explained
right.
to Fluff. I was like, we're comparing it to like, are they going to beat the current red decks? No. Are they good? Yeah, in their own way, they're definitely good, but they just can't compete. And I'm sure someone else has already figured out how to make them even better. But no, we were short the SPR on the SPR.
Wait, I need a rare out of that.
Do you?
Did you hit any of these?
What?
Four
No, I
dra-
didn't. No.
Okay.
No, these were the rares.
Okay.
How do you open this shit?
From the back.
you just rip it in half. But yeah, I remember going through the whole thing, and I saw Aaron's post that it was like that you guys had pulled 0 SPRs on the blue yellow 8-drop Gohan Piccolo, and I'm like, oh wait, there was an SPR. Oh yeah, there was.
That is adorable.
That's sick.
That is amazing.
That's adorable. Holy shit. I didn't know this box was so dope.
Oh, it's a Gohan box. Oh, I kind of
Yeah.
want one of those
Dude.
now.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this ASMR? Was that as good for you as was for me?
Sure. And then I opened our premium packs and I saw there was an SPR of the Broly. I'm like, well, fuck, that's 2 for 2 so far. That's dope.
Forbidden
Nice.
Power. That's
I
pretty
love the
sick.
art on that
Yeah.
Forbidden
Yeah.
Power, actually.
That's pretty sick. I just wish it, like Forbidden Power wasn't locked to yellow, so you
Yeah.
could actually run this with magenta.
Yep.
Like, that'd be sick. And then, hey, I got the Gohan sleeves I was after from my Gohan Z deck, except these sleeves suck because there's like
Yeah.
they got like a hunchback on the top of the sleeve. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the top of the sleeve is inflated.
Like crimped.
Did I bring you guys by chance the Pokemon Psychic cards my nephew has? They have
No.
You know, you told us you were going to show us to
Okay,
them.
I need to bring them in.
Or show them to us.
They have a matte finishing to them, so they just feel perfect for sleeves.
Interesting.
All right, so we got going on here.
Chila's, this card's insane.
I don't remember what it affects.
Read it.
Yeah, so leader card Broly, activate battle. If your life is at 4 or less, choose up to one of your green Broly BR cards to get plus 5k for the turn. It's just a freebie.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah, that's
so
nuts.
good.
I mean it's an extra card deck, so I mean
5k for the turn for 0 energy, though, is wild.
I mean, being better.
we're seeing
But
that more and more often now, though.
I like that. I always thought that there should be more bean effects in the game, or every color should get a bean equivalent card.
The new Mass Saiyan in this set for black has an activate battle. I think it does that. I can't remember if it costs energy or not, but it gives your leader plus 5k for the turn.
I really like that new Black Mass Saiyan card. It's pretty sick.
The art on it's nice, too.
Also, apologies for this camera sucking. This was kind of impromptu to set this up.
I think
so.
you suggested it though.
I mean, I made it as a joke, and then it was.
We were like, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Jake, you're gonna be playing this pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that's
Like,
one of the
thanks.
leaders I'm more excited about this set. I think it reminds me a lot of the way like some like vehicles and other artifacts worked in Magic.
Yeah, I can see
Oh, there
that.
we go.
Yeah.
I actually got my foil playset.
Nice. I think there's gonna be something good in this one, boys. And by something good, I mean nothing. It's gonna be. Hey, look at that! Oh shit! They're right next to each other.
That's
Oh,
actually
that's a
kinda
special
nice.
pack then, right?
Is it? I think so.
You got a foil leader.
That's one per box.
Yeah.
No. What were
I
the
mean-
rares?
That rares are right here.
He's already pulled them aside.
I mean, y'all need any of both?
Also, I think that Gohan you pulled up earlier, Jake, was an uncommon. I don't think it's a rare.
Uncommons in this game are rarer than rares, and it is an uncommon.
Yeah, I had to pull those earlier for Jimmy.
Hey, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
he did.
Nice.
He
I got
did.
two.
Alright, that's my preset. Sweet.
Oh, you only needed one? I
Yeah.
was going to dig out the other bulk that I just threw in the garbage can because I'm tired of fucking dealing with bulk.
No, I got 3. I
So-
I just need the
Dude,
one.
we have 8 boxes of just bulk from the set now. And those are all uncommons and commons. 8
Okay,
boxes.
if somebody is watching this video, if you comment your favorite thing about Bancroft, I will pick you and I will send you an entire case worth of Dragon Ball bulk uncommons and commons. You're paying the shipping though, and if I choose you, you have to do it, or I will make fun of you on this channel.
I was curious what the catch was, because this is definitely not an AOP association thing. This is a Jimmy thing.
No, it's not.
It's a special Jimmy promotion.
Yeah.
Can I put some of my bulk in that box?
It's like when Jimmy
They're
put his phone
paying
broke.
the shipping, so
It's gonna be a pallet of bulk.
So if you get a message from production on attack, I think that's what Jimmy's account is.
don't tell them that. I've said some really fucked up things to people that watch this channel or comment on these videos. Don't out me like that.
Sorry, it's not Jimmy. It's some other person's account.
Yeah, it's somebody else. I'm turning off my camera. Fuck
Yeah, you
y'all.
do that. Oh,
So overall, we got an SPR and a foil leader. No SRs or anything.
no.
We got one Intra 13 SR.
Okay.
And the Gohan SR that Bancroft needs.
Yeah, no
Nice,
SPR,
okay.
so yeah.
No, we got an SPR. We got the SPR of the Goku.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Goku, Spirit Bond absorbed. And then I got a Janemba and Gohan for the 2 decks that I'm playing this set. So I'm
Nice.
hogging out of stuff that was meant for Aaron.
So I don't think I talked about it too much. And I'll talk about more on the video for it. Magenta, it's good when it's good, and it's bad when it's not. In my third match, I just didn't see any pieces, which really I got all the cards. Like I got super combos, I got 1-drops, but I didn't get any the bigger cards, and that really hurt. In my first round of match, I felt like the poking I was doing just wasn't the best it could be. But my the camera match I had definitely showcased the deck a lot better than what I would done in the first and third round. So hopefully that's a good expectation of the deck for those when you check it out later this week. But I really did enjoy it. I like these weird ass decks, and I think they're great. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, I think this set they really. I gotta applaud them for taking a chance on a lot of stuff. Like they printed the whole villainous archetype and no leader.
Yeah. Well,
that's
you have to go to a shop.
Mhm.
You have to go to a holiday release event shop in order to get the leader. And if you miss out on that, you miss out on the leader itself.
Yeah, you just have to buy it on the secondary market, and there'll be plenty. But I think it's a risk, and I really actually like that they took it because it forces people to come out to shops and actually play in events. I think I complained about it at first, but thinking about it, I think that's actually really cool. But they didn't make it part of the anti-box, which was the mistake they made with the AOD leader. And that leader got up to be like $20 at one point, and they were like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
Like, people shouldn't have to pay $20 just to get the leader.
because it was a chance to get the leader.
Yeah.
I think where Villainous and AOD, since they're very similar archetypes just in theming, the Villainous stuff, all of the cards have dual uses. So they're useful in the actual archetype, but they're also support for archetypes from the set and previous decks as well, which I really, really like. So when you pull those cards in your pack, you're not always like, well, that sucks. I just got a card that's just useless to me. Where I think a lot of people were opening their anniversary boxes and they were filled with all of these cards that were made for one specific archetype and only really worked in that archetype. and didn't have a leader to play it with. I will say though, in the actual holiday kits, there was a lot of those magenta leaders. So it's because you got 2 of the the fat blister packs, which were like, I think you get 8 of each. You get 8 magentas, 8 of the gammas, and each kit comes with 2 of those plus the winner art version of those, the gold stamp. So it's not like these are going to be super, super rare leaders. I think as long as stores are not super greedy with them and the players that are getting access to them are being greedy with them, if you want to play Villainous, easy peasy.
Don't pay more than $5 for a magenta leader.
No.
Go to your locals and ask if they have one left, and your judge will probably give it to you.
There is plenty of them out there. It just comes down to the people that have them if they want to sell them at a reasonable price. And also something to note, the archetype is fairly solid.
Yeah.
Everything in the deck is a common or uncommon.
Yep.
And the deck builds itself essentially. The only thing you have to go out of your way to buy is the leader and then the Gamma Z card, which is not necessary to play the deck, in my opinion.
I think it depends on the build, but I will completely agree with you after playing last night. Like, if you're playing more of it, like, because you can play the robot for 1 energy if you play the Z battle card. If you're playing it more based on, because like Turles, you can activate battle during your opponent's turn and just play the card if you have 2 already in the field. And like, I think that's really cool. Or you could take to approach where you're just kind of like poking here and there and kind of going for a ramp. I think overall, I still enjoy AOD more, but like you mentioned earlier, Villainous does have the benefit of being accessible to other decks and not just this archetype, which I think is fantastic.
To me, it feels like a strange cousin of AOD, where they're both like battle card value based decks that kind of want to go wide, and where Magenta's playing more of an advantage game, and the cards, like Jimmy said, can be used in older Villainous archetypes. AOD is playing more of an aggressive style, and then there are cards from other archetypes that have the Agent of Destruction tag that then get used in AOD decks, like the Janemba blocker, the Bojack, or the some builds play the Unisons that you can, arguably those are like better, or not better, but arguably those are like just as good in other archetypes, where like, it just seems kind of like a strange cousin. And then continuing with the strangeness, I like how Bandai took a risk on the fat Gogeta and then Gogeta deck, or like the whatever it's called on the front side. I forget. I want to say Veku, but
it's Veku.
It is Veku on the front side?
It's Veku, then Gogeta Fusion Perfection or something.
On the back, yeah. And it's like a 5k leader. We haven't had that for a while. And then the weird, like, blimp Gotenks card where it swings and then gets stuck in rest mode, and then you can activate effects and give it dual attack and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool, some of the stuff they came up with, and I think if they can find a good spot between interesting and powerful, this game will have a lot of legs, like a lot of life.
Yeah, I think just the minor gimmicks around the interacting with the Z deck has been really, really interesting. This set. Gogeta does it the most out of the entire set, in my opinion. I don't even know if that's an opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah. Gogeta does Z energy. Broly does under the leader stuff. And we've seen it before, like Red Piccolo was the life deck. We've seen things with and before that we actually had the Frieza deck, Frieza Pod, that had life things, I think. And I feel
Life Flip Frieza?
I feel like we see things like that because they want to make sure they perfect it when they bring out the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for the future.
Yeah. While this set I think is a little underpowered compared to the previous set, I like that they're experimenting a lot more. And I think that the next set that plays with these ideas and concepts, like locking Gohan at 3 energy, but giving it so many powerful offensive tools, and then like Gogeta playing almost every single card from the Z energy. I feel like once we get a more established and a stronger archetype using these tools and gimmicks, that's where we're gonna like get some really fun like game changing decks.
I'm excited for Zunisons and Z Energy Destruction.
Zunisons. I like the Zunisons.
And one thing I'm excited for next set, hopefully Bandai, you give us the opportunity because of all the joke videos I made. Let us reveal the golden mecha cooler because I think we deserved it to reveal that one. But we'll see what happens.
We only cuss every couple of videos.
We dropped the F-bomb like 3 times in this video, I think.
Yeah, but this is like the hangout video.
Is that any worse than like the other Dragon Ball YouTubers?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them are pretty clean.
Definition of worse.
I mean,
more sweary.
I mean, they're all better than us, like in every way, except for like we cuss more.
Yeah, I'm out of cuss words.
Thank you for tuning in. I think that wraps up today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed your pulls. Hope you get what you want. Hope you build what you like. Jake, bring us a new deck next week, please.
I'm working on it.
All right, good. Lead us out.
Everybody, thanks for spending some time with us. Remember to read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And if you're involved with Magic the Gathering for financial reasons right now, the best advice I can give anyone in a turbulent financial time, not for official financial advice, is to do nothing. Don't buy anything. Don't sell anything. Just do nothing and watch the world burn. Fluff out.